Over the past 12 months, I spoke to more than 50 top-tier VC and private equity firms about investing in my bootstrapped but profitable 25 million ARR SaaS company. After a full year of pitches, term sheets, and big promises, I walked away from every single one of them and decided I would never take investor capital. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone turn down millions of dollars from the best investors in Silicon Valley? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the 7 reasons why I chose to stay bootstrapped, why taking VC money would have been the worst decision I could have ever made for my business, and what it means for you. Let's dive in. So if you accept VC money, you're essentially buying a lottery ticket that might pay off in the future. Meanwhile, you're going to be working 80-hour weeks and taking home basically nothing, all for some potentially astronomical number at some point, maybe in the future. But if you create a successful early-stage startup, you should get paid right now, not in some hypothetical exit that may never come. You should be rewarded with millions of dollars every single year while you're building for creating one of the most successful companies in history. Let's be real here. The age of building to an exit with VC money for SaaS companies is over. Fewer SaaS companies are getting acquired every single day. All investor money is flooding into AI, not traditional SaaS companies. If you're thinking IPO, you need something around 400 million or 500 million ARR growing at 30 to 50% a year just to have a shot. My SaaS founder hero is Ross Paquette at Marapost. He bootstrapped 30 million ARR in just 4 years, and he owns his entire company. He's banked over 20 million in profit 10 years in a row. Ross wins every single year, no matter what. That's exactly what I'm doing at RB2B and retention.com. We generate a total of $1 million in profit per month when you combine the two companies. My goal is to grow that to $2 million per month over the next 3 years, and we'll be in the same position as Ross. The only way you could possibly do that in a SaaS is without investors. No investors would tolerate running your company this way. And by the way, if you want to try RB2B, click the first link in the description. It'll identify your website visitors and send their LinkedIn profiles to your Slack completely for free. Now, back to the video. So I listened to pitch after pitch from VCs and private equity. Every single one told me how much they were going to help me grow my company with their go-to-market advisory. It's going to be game-changing, and we were talking about revenue numbers that were 10 times the size of what I had. This pitch was weak, and it was designed to get founders dreaming big dreams. But if those dreams pan out, guess what? It's largely going to be your team's doing, not your investors. And here's the reality. Anything that really works, you have to figure out yourself. Investors think they know way more about company building than they actually know. And sure, individuals can be helpful in advisory roles, but you usually get most of the value out of an advisor in the first 1 to 2 hours. I'll give you an example of this happening to me. A guy named Neil Crate taught us how to find customers for Robly, an email marketing software that I later exited for 8 figures. His advice was to crawl the web for constant contact sign-up forms and cold call those businesses who were using that software. That strategy took our business from unviable to viable. But after those first few hours, we had to figure out everything else on our own. That's just how advisors work. So at best, investors are going to slow you down. Every decision now needs a board approval. Every move gets questioned and analyzed, and your nimble startup becomes a bureaucracy. And in many cases, you simply can't do what you want to do. At worst, investors will ruin your life and destroy all of your equity. If your business slows down for macro reasons outside of your control, you're completely screwed. They can force you out of your own company, and they can dilute you into oblivion with the down round. There are some good investors out there, but here's the problem. They have an entirely different set of incentives than you do. And as long as the business is growing, both of your incentives are aligned. But if for any reason you get off the exponential growth path you were on when you raise money, everything changes. Their incentives and your incentives are no longer aligned. The reality is that if you plateau and you're bootstrapped and profitable, who cares? But if you plateau and you're backed by investors, more than likely your equity is worth 0. Think about that. 0. Now, most VCs are just looking for unicorns. They want 10% or less of their portfolio to pay for the entire fund. which means they're always pushing for growth at all costs plays, whether the business needs it or not. But most businesses are far better in the long run if they're not run for growth at all costs. Situations emerge constantly where what's best for your life as a founder and what's best for the company get usurped. A group of investors wanting a quick 2x return can push you to sell, and there's nothing you can do about it. Even if they have a minority position, there's so many ways to exert psychological influence on you. They can drive the outcome that's best for the fund, which is not the best outcome for you. Now, here's the fundamental difference. Investors have a bunch of bets across their entire portfolio, but you, as the founder, have one bet. It's this company that you're spending your entire life on. You need to maximize the odds that this company you're working on works, whereas investors need to maximize the odds that 1 or 2 out of 10 investments are unicorns. When you take investor money, you're taking far more risk. You're completely concentrated in this one business, and they're diversified across dozens of investments. But they'll force you to do things to grow faster than the natural course of your business. And if it doesn't work, they'll just move on to the next bet. You'll be left with nothing. Now, my strategy for 2025 was very unconventional. I gave away a super valuable product to millions of people using viral distribution, doing a lightning fast product-led growth motion, and I kept my team unreasonably lean. I continued to add value to the free offering, and I even left for 7 days and let AI bots run our entire business for a week. The second any of this plan went wrong, I'm telling you what would happen if I had investors. I would be told to stop immediately, and if I didn't stop, I would be fired from my own company, and that is the reality of taking investor money. In my opinion, freedom is the most valuable thing in the world. I express my freedom in many ways. This year, I trained AI agents all summer, and then I had our whole team go completely off the grid for 7 days while AI ran our entire company. Can you imagine explaining that to a board of directors? I also keep RB2B unreasonably lean for its size. I sacrifice some growth to stay lean and efficient, and this drives investors crazy, but it's exactly what makes the business sustainable and profitable. This is going to be highly controversial, but here it is. I think almost all measurement, aside from top-line ARR, is complete garbage. It leads to bad long-term decision-making. You end up optimizing in the short term for whatever metric you're chasing, instead of building something that actually matters. The one exception for SaaS companies is measuring retention, specifically gross retention or logo retention. The better your logo retention is, the larger your company will get. Measuring and optimizing for stickiness is the smart thing that you can do. But with investors, everything becomes about metrics. They want to see your CAC payback period. They want to see your LTV to CAC ratio. They want to see your net dollar retention and your sales efficiency score, and so on and so on. And these metrics become the tail wagging the dog. You start making decisions to move numbers instead of building great products and building a great brand. You lose sight of what actually creates value for your customers, and ironically, your business suffers in the long term because of it. An investor's job is simple. It's to figure out what number will motivate a founder to transact, and then once identified, to get them to attach their identity to that number, to make them feel like their business is worth $100 million. And even if taking the money actually lowers the probability-weighted financial outcome for the founder, they will get them to take the money. And here's the funny thing about us founders. We're all motivated by this fake money. Just because you raised at a $100 million valuation doesn't mean you're worth $80 million. That's just a number on paper. It means absolutely nothing until there's an actual liquidity event. The only time raising money makes you actually rich is when you get secondary, meaning some or all of that round went directly into your bank account and not the company's bank account. Last year, I was seduced by the idea that I could take millions off the table and move even faster by working with investors. But after speaking to an investor every single week, all of 2024, I realized that those millions would likely change many of the things that I value most about my life. That's why I'm a bootstrapper at heart, and I will always be. Now what I'm building is called RB2B. We identify your anonymous website visitors and give you their LinkedIn profiles completely free forever. I'm bootstrapping it without taking taking any VC money, and we've already grown to 6.5 million ARR with just 3 people. You can just click the first link in the description and try it for free. It takes 5 minutes to set up, and you'll get your first leads immediately. Most companies let 98% of website visitors leave without knowing who they are when they're actually your highest intent leads. So click that link below and start using our B2B to grow for free right now. And if you want to know exactly how I grew our B2B from 0 to 1 million ARR in 6 weeks, then watch this video next.